Fiji Airways TEIVOVO Rugby Show.
Bula, and welcome to Fiji Airways TEIVOVO Rugby Show. My name is Ben Kohli, FJ007, and here is our review on Super Rugby Pacific Round 2.
Bula, and welcome to our Super Rugby Pacific review of Round 2. I'm Culden Kamea. Right at the top, I want to pay tribute to the late great Joeli Vidri and another famous Pacifica wing, gatoungamawa, who passed away within 24 hours of each other last week. What a tragedy that was. In doing so, TEIVOVORugby.com calls on for a public inquiry in New Zealand into the sickness, treatments and tragic deaths of Joeli Vidri and Chona Lobo. Rest in peace, brothers. Our Super Rugby Pacific Round 2 results. The Brumbies beat the Fijian draw, we all know that, 42-3, and we'll look at that game a little bit closer on later in the program. The Hurricanes absolutely snatched a sensational 33-32 win with the last play of the day from Captain Adi Servia after they trailed 14-32 very early in the game. The Force beat the Rebels 28-3. The Reds overcame the Waratahs 2016, and the Crusaders beat the Highlanders 34-19 with our flying Fijian there, Sevu Reece, scoring twice. Reece has now joined Crusaders royalty near the top of the table of the all-time try scorers in New Zealand there at the Crusaders, with his 36th try coming in just an amazing 41 games. He now equals Dan Carter, who took 141 games to get the same number of tries, with only Leon MacDonald on 43 tries from 122 games, and Caleb Ralph with 52 tries in 126 to lead our man Sevu Reece. The Fijian draw remain anchored at the bottom of the Super Rugby Pacific table after 2 rounds with no points and a negative 69 points differential. Against the Brumbies in Canberra on Saturday, I actually thought the Fijian Drua had improved quite a lot. Their scrum was solid, and I give them 9 out of 10 for that. But they must learn to concentrate at every single scrum, every single play. The moment they let up, the Brumbies tipped them and got the better. Remember, the Brumbies started with 14 Wallabies. The 3 in the front row, Alan Alalator, the captain and big Samoan loosehead prop there, Lachlan Lonergan and James Slipper, another 100-test Wallaby, gave our front row a good working over. But I must say, our guys stood up to them. The draw line-out improved, but must get better. Our captain, all kudos to Nemani Nangusa. He has been outstanding as a leader and driving from the back of the Ruckin Moor. Had a fantastic game again. And our backs, well, they didn't score, so it was good to see Boladar get a run. Hopefully we see more of him in the games ahead. Baden Kerr looked steady at fullback. Maybe head coach Mick Byrne will try Boladar running from fly half to really set our backs alight. I've criticised them for being a bit flat-footed. Again, against the Brumbies, they were not running onto the ball like Fijian backs have to be to really make gains. After 2 big losses to the Waratahs and to the Brumbies, fingers crossed against the Rebels this weekend, our boys will finally come right. This is Culden Kamea for TEIVOVORugby.com.
Let's catch up with Vela from Fiji Rugby.
Hi, welcome back to this channel. At the moment we are just looking forward to the game this weekend. The first game for the Fijian in the Super W Series, Fijian and Drua. Their first game against the Rebels, 4:30 Melbourne time, and they played only one warm-up match, which they defeated the Reds, but 34-20. That was 2 weeks ago. So basically, right now we are excited. It's the first time we play in the Super W Series. And at the same time, there's a lot of things that are happening at Rugby House, preparing for the International Women's Day for next week. That's happening next week. There's a lot of things that are coming up, announcements and celebrating our success, women's rugby success, long journey, and what Fiji Rugby has in store for women's rugby coming up. The under 18 girls will be going to the World Cup, like I mentioned in the last segment. I'm hoping to get more girls to participate in the trials when we announce the dates for the trials, and inviting the parents to support their girls coming into play, because this will be their first trip to the Rugby World Cup, and it'll be a different atmosphere altogether, playing at the pinnacle of a tournament in rugby, especially when it's the first time for Fiji to participate in the Rugby World Cup. Doangana mamasu we kanta keda na leoni vanua ortona fijiana nrua ortona ngito chukuna moni madaongo na singa barwai kera nga ke bakandarani barataka na bito koni menda saraba nangito bakatalangaki na kera ni rambito daki nondra profile pics na wana merbiso tak nondra profile pics wana nondra social media o si rambito daki na theme ni International Women's Day, mera bartaka na nondra bito koni bir na ngonele wana ngito na madawango naka.
Using a dumbbell leg, dumbbell. Nakukukin na tambang mo. Na tambang ko. Dada nga na tambang mo na kinakukuha. Goreng, laku, laku 10, mai. 11-1, mai, laku, mai, 11-2, mai, 11-3, come on. 11-5, 11-4, mai, 11-5, mai, 11-5.
Raka, I'm Henry Elder. I'm the national coach for weightlifting Fiji, but I'm also a fitness trainer and a strength and conditioning coach for many sports, including rugby. Okay, so we're going to be learning how to do the barbell row. It's a very important exercise in rugby, and it's important for many different reasons. One is it develops upper body pulling strength. Now, pulling strength is important, obviously. If you're in a Raka or mall, you'll be able to hold on to the ball, or if you're standing over somebody, you want to rip the ball off. This movement here is what we're going to develop over here. In addition to the drive that you have as a runner. So if you're running with the ball, the drive back here, the exercise that we do here develops that power here. Okay, so this is the barbell row. So stand upright with your feet about shoulder width apart, pretty much the same as the squat position, and the hands, the grip on the bar is over grasp, just like that. Okay, and then the thumbs are over that way, right there. Okay, and the grip is slightly outside of the thigh. Okay, so then you bend over with your knees slightly bent into a slightly leaning over forward position where you're about 60 degrees, and then you pull under the chest and release slowly down. That's it. Lean over a little bit more, slightly, that's it. Alright, and just let the bar go down, straight down. Perfect. Nice and controlled, so you can pull with a little bit more speed up and then slowly control it back down. Up and control down. That's it. Maintain that forward lean, slightly forward lean. That's it. And good. So we have variations with that. You can also use dumbbells, holding it on the side here. And that's another way you can develop your upper body pulling strength. One friendly reminder, if you're going to be participating in any physical activity of any sort, always remember to get clearance from a qualified medical practitioner. Also, if you need any advice on health and fitness or strength and conditioning, you can always contact me, and the details are on the screen now. Raka.
Last year was a hard year for whole of Fiji and around the world. Because of COVID and the rugby was a bit laid off. So now coming back to rugby is like starting all over again. My name is Neorimbuli. I'm here with Suva Under 19 for the Skipper Cup this year. Most of these boys here, I think 90% of them are still in school. They all come from school, grammar, Maris. Some of them even come from as far as RKS, KVS. Those who live here in Suva. So it's easy for them to come and play here rather than going back to TEIVOVO or any other provincial team. The standard of rugby for this age group is the most important thing right now, because before we used to look at 20s, 21, 22, but now as you can see, even overseas clubs, they're looking for ages 16 to 17, 18, and close to 19. That's why it's very important to nurture these boys carefully before they move up. So that's what we are doing right now, because skipper is another level of competition. Some of these boys are playing top in Suva A team, senior team. Some of them playing locks, wing, those the position that really needed in senior comp. So we can say that's a lot of young talent. Numbers in my group is mostly it was 70, 60, then we have to trim them down. Right until now, we're trying to select the final squad. But it's very hard because they are all here to play rugby, and then it's very hard for the coaches to pick and choose. But we're just looking at the attitude and discipline. That's where we're working from. Last week we had our trial game here. We set up 4 teams and another team was extra. Another set of 15 with the reserves. Training these kids is like when you have a son. It's very hard. Sometimes it really gives you a headache, and it takes patience and perseverance to keep them in a group to work with them.
Ladies and gentlemen, skills with Quentin.
Hello guys and girls, today's skill is the tackle. We're going to be focusing on winning the contact with your plant foot and driving through. Jerry's going to be attacking, I'll be defending. For the start of the drill, we're just going to walk through it really slowly so we can explain everything. But once you get it at your club, you can jog through to start with and then go at 100% or 80%. So Jerry's going to be running to score on that cone, and I'm going to be defending, coming across with a classic cover tackle. So just walking through, Jerry. So coming through nice and low, going into contact, and your plant foot, you want it right down the middle. So basically down the middle of Jerry, same leg, same shoulder, and this stops Jerry's drive coming through this way. Now I've dominated the contact, first point of contact, and I can drive through with my back leg and take Jerry backwards. We're going to go a bit faster this one, just jogging through, and we'll also talk through some safety points after. Set, Jerry. So again, At this point, you want to be, as Jerry's coming here, you want to start dipping. Dipping low here at the hips, and then it's short steps coming in. Right before contact, one big step down the middle, shoulder, and you want your head, you always want your head somewhere soft. So general rule is cheek to cheek. You never want your head here. It puts your neck in danger of twisting or Jerry's knee driving up and hitting you in the head. So same foot, same shoulder, short steps, dipping coming in, and one long step into contact. That plant foot right down the center of Jerry, so it stops his momentum coming forward and gives me the advantage in the contact, and I can then drive through with the back foot. One of the main focuses in this drill is your plant foot. So with Jerry running across that way, I'm coming from the side. I want to hit him with my right shoulder, so my plant foot's going to be my right foot. I really want to get this right foot in as close as possible to Jerry, because all my shoulder's going to be the first point of contact, but all the power is going to come through my leg. So the closer it is to him, the more power I'm going to be able to push through Jerry and drive him back. If my plant foot's here, I'm sort of chasing my body and losing all this power. So the tackle's not going to be as effective, and Jerry will probably win that contact and take me backwards. So that's a thing to remember for this drill. And in a game, in real game situation, it's not always going to be as simple as this and getting the perfect tackle, but it's good to practice the perfect technique, and it'll help you a lot, especially winning contact in the games. That was our skill for today. I hope you learned something new that you can share with your friends and your rugby club, and hope it improves your game. Thanks to Jerry from Canberra Rugby Club for his time today, and I wish him all the best in his game this weekend.
Okay, today I'm going to demonstrate how to drop kick. Una kena nabi matanggali. First na kena matanggali kona seventh game kena kick off. Kini kedua kona drop goal. Si kini ketul indo telah teknik. Kau orang dah kami kuni na kelak seorang ni kelak nombu biar kick and chase ya apa? So na drop kick membuntak matai na seventh kick off. Tahu ngerabu. Okay. Kini keruah mata-mata. Keruah mata-mata. Unang atong kini lang kay. Bu. Kau saya nak kambing bindun dua. Kau mau bunta kah? Okay? Komen. Kenapa?